What are your memories of Grand Prix wrestling?
Oh, Grand Prix wrestling was really, if I can say, the most talented wrestlers ever were with Grand Prix. You know what I mean? There was a different type of guys than there is today. Today it's different. But Grand Prix wrestling is still, you know, a word that company that is known as, you know. So I remember stomping Paul Peller, Leo Berg, naturally myself, Frenchy Martin. But Grand Prix wrestling was quite a company.
Right. And you were a top wrestler in Puerto Rico. You wrestled Ric Flair once there. You want to tell us about that match?
Yeah, at one time I was the main event against Ric Flair, and there was an hour time limit, and I was ready, you know. My wife used to watch the tape of Ric Flair beating other people, you know, how he was smooth. And I always tried not to commit, you know, because he knows wrestling, so I didn't want to get close to him. But it turned out to be one hell of an experience, and I think that's what gave me my confidence for the rest of it, you know.
What did you think of him as a person?
I'm sorry?
What did you think of Ric Flair as a person?
I didn't talk to him, so.
And you also worked for Carlos Colon, of course, in Puerto Rico. What are your memories of Carlos?
I have very good memories going back to 75, you know, which is when me and Rick Martel's brother went there as a tag team, you know, the Martel brothers, and we really popped the place wide open, and we did very good there.
And did you ever have any issues with your pay with Mr. Colon?
Oh, well, it's a little personal, let's just say.
And you were talking earlier to me that you know King Tonga, and he's a really tough guy. Do you have any stories about him you want to tell us?
King Tonga, to let you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. If you have a chance to go to hell instead, you might as well go to hell, because he's unbelievable. I've seen him, two guys by the throat like this. They were both fainting, and then a kick there, a kick there. He had 6 guys laying down in the bar, you know. And the bouncer came in, but I knew the owner, and I said, get the bouncer out of there, he's dead. And they got him out, and then I managed to get him out of the bar, but he had been insulted by one idiot that was drunk, and there were 6 of them on the floor within 30 seconds. So take my word, go to hell, you know, instead of going to him.
And I'm sure between the Quebec territory and WWF, you had contact with Andre the Giant. Do you have any stories about him?
I was very, very good friends with Andre the Giant. As a matter of fact, on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Frenchy Martin, I have the Giant's family in there, the father and the mother. It was smaller people, you know. And they were very nice, good family, and I was very good friends with the Giant. As a matter of fact, when he came to Puerto Rico, they had hired a limousine to take him around, and he said to Carlos, no, I'm going to go with Frenchy, you know. It was funny because he had his knee all the way into the, what do you call the front of the car then. And I remember he said, oh, give me a cup of beer. So I stopped, double park, you know, quick running. And when I came out, the police had just come out of his car and he was looking inside. And I remember him looking like, geez, who's this? I said, that's the Giant. Wow, he said. And he was very impressive, you know. And he said, that beer? I said, no, that's for after the match.
What was the most you ever saw him drink in a single sitting?
Oh, can tell you, going to the town, he drank 12 beer easy. You know, then after, he used to play card, he loved to play crib. And he drank a couple bottles of wine at the same time. But he was really a force to be reckoned with, you know what I mean? The size and those hands were unbelievable. My daughter, when she was young, maybe a couple months, he put her sitting down in his hand, you know, I still got the picture. But it's been really something.
And you managed Dino Bravo in WWF. Did you know him before WWF?
I knew him when I started wrestling in Montreal because Dino, I don't know, I can't swear to it, but I think he had bought some shares, you know, because he was starting himself and he wanted and I wanted, so that's how we met. And I speak French, I speak English, I speak Spanish. So he asked me if I wanted to go with the WWF with him. And I did, and it was from '87 to 1990. And it was quite an experience, you know.
And what exactly happened with Dino, to your knowledge, with his execution-style death?
I have no idea. No idea at all. He was a very nice guy. We didn't hang out together, you know. I made sure that he had the hotel reserved, that he had the limousine picking him up at the hotel to go train. And I had another limousine at night, so he trained twice a day. And one time we were at the Gold Gym in California. What's the name of it?
Venice.
Venice, California, right. And he did on the bench press there, 700 pounds. And those who write the books, the guy said, "Do you mind if we write it down?" I said, no, go ahead. He said, "I never seen nobody here push 700 pounds. And afterwards, that's when he was training for that 710 pounds. Remember that in the years back, he was here in Ontario somewhere. No, he was a good guy, very tough.
So you were probably pretty surprised when you heard about his death.
Yes, I was very surprised, you know. Because I knew him, I thought we were friends, you know. But when I heard that, it really hurt me, you know. Because he was not a bad guy to me, you know.
Were you friends with the Rougeau family?
No, I must admit, not with all of them, you know. My favorite being Armand. And
what's your opinion of Jacques?
Well, it's a different person, you know.
All right, and so who else, did you manage anybody else when you were in WWF other than Dino?
I was going to manage the Headhunter, which was, give me a chance here a second, getting home. Joe LeDuc. I was supposed to manage him, and then thing did happen, and he got fired from the WF anyway, but I was supposed to manage him also. And then afterwards, Dino was the biggest that I really managed.
Were you back there when Jacques Rougeau had that incident with Dynamite Kid?
I was at the TV studios, but I didn't see anything happen, so.
What did you think of the dressing rooms in those days? Today it's more of a friendly atmosphere, but...
In those days, well, I guess I shouldn't say it, but there was a lot of guys using the stuff, you know. So it was a little bit disgusting to see after the matches are over. The dressing room was full of towels, but a lot of needles everywhere. Naturally, I'm talking about '87, you know. So, yeah, I was a bit deceived, but these guys, they were, And a lot of them were angry, because they were ready to go on anything, so I was very careful.
Did you ever have much interaction with Hulk Hogan in the 80s?
No, I went to one of his birthdays, and he lived in Florida, and so did I. And me and my wife went, and then I remember it was at his house, and then from his house we drank. There were waiters around the pool all the time, with beers, and the boys. Hey for the boys. And a small boat came to pick us up at his house. He took us away far from the border and the sun, anyway.
Right.
And we got onto another big boat, but one of those boats that do they take you there, and you can eat on that boat, and it was fantastic party. I remember at the end, most of the wrestlers had 4 or 5 beers in their belt, because we drank beer then.
So Hulk Hogan was always nice to you, your experience?
He was very nice to me. He never did anything bad to me, he was polite with me.
Did you manage, Dino against Hogan ever?
Yeah, but Dino wanted sincerely to beat Hulk Hogan in Montreal, and it did not happen, and I think he was not happy about that.
Now, in the early days of WWE coming to Montreal, they came every month, didn't they?
Yes.
Were the crowds pretty good back then?
Yes. Yeah, and in those days it was the Athletic Commission, remember that?
Yeah.
So everybody had to have a permit, and then they told, from what I heard, they told Vince McMahon, we don't want no birds, we don't want no snake, we don't want no dogs, we don't want chain match, we don't want cage match. And then, what are you going to do? It was a professional wrestling, so I was a little bit of a hassle with them, and then when it turned out to be WWE Entertainment, they couldn't stop them because it's entertainment then,
Yeah. So they switched from sports to entertainment to get away from the commission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, not from the commission, but they had something with the WWF.
Oh, the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite memory of your time in WWF?
Wow. The first paycheck. No, there wasn't. Only nice guys, real nice people, very professional. We flew early in the morning, 5:30, so for a drinker it was very hard to follow, but the guys back then didn't drink, they got the juice.
And you managed in Madison Square Garden a lot too in those days?
I was in Madison Square Garden. As a matter of fact, if you go to YouTube and you write down Frenchy Martin versus Ultimate Warrior, that's where I broke my collarbone.
Oh, do you want to tell us about the Ultimate Warrior and that match specifically?
Yeah, well, he was very aggressive, because he felt like nothing hurt him, and he picked me up for a slam, and he just dropped me right on my head, and yet I finished the match,
Why do you think he died so young?
I have no idea. Could it be, I have no idea.
Did you only wrestle him the one time?
The one time only.
So I guess they used you sometimes as a wrestler when they were short? Or?
Yeah, they did. I have a match also on YouTube with Coco Beware. There's a few matches, if you look at it,
Do you What did you prefer better, being a wrestler or a manager?
I prefer to be a wrestler. I love wrestling. I remember my first match was at Latour. I don't know how many moons ago, but wow, it's got to be 50 years ago. You know, I mean, Latour, that was a real little place with the seats like that, so everybody could see. There was all kinds of riot there, you know. And that was great, beautiful.
Did you have much interaction with Mad Dog Vachon over the years?
No, me and my dog, we had nothing going for us or nothing against, you know. I didn't get along with him.
Did you ever see him in a bar fight? Because I've heard many stories that he was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've heard the same stories, you know. He was very hot tea, and two guys bothered him and took the tea and threw it in the guy's face. Hot tea, you know, imagine, and he beat the other one to...
Is it true that he used to pop people's eyes out?
No.
Is it true that he used to stick his finger in people's eyes and pop them out?
I've never seen him, but I've heard it. Yeah. No, he was a mean son of a gun.
So what was your favorite feud as a wrestler? With you as a wrestler in your career?
That I liked? Well, Hercules Fernandez was one of my very, very, very good friends with my family, his family. Beside that...
oh, sorry, I meant feud, like, who was your favorite opponent to feud with?
Carlos Colon was one. Bruno Sammartino, I wrestled him at Roberto Clemente Coliseum the first time it opened, it was first show.
What was he like to be in the ring with?
Strong, very good.
How was he compared to, a lot of people like to criticize him as a wrestler compared to like the NWA champions, but did you find him to be a good wrestler compared to like a Ric Flair? Was he?
Well, I prefer Ric Flair because Bruno is more of a tough guy, you know.
Are you surprised he made up with WWE after all those years of bitterness?
No, because he was so friends with his father, you know, with Vince's father. That was his man, Bruno.
What did you think of Vince McMahon from your times meeting him?
Well, he's all right, you know. I mean, whatever papers I signed with them, I got, you know. Well, yet it's been 25 years, and sometimes I still get a little check from videos and things, you know, 25 years later, so definitely an honest guy, you know.
And you were mentioning to me off camera before that Quebec wrestling is down right now. Do you ever think wrestling in Quebec will be as popular again as it once was in its heyday?
If somebody with a little bit of money gets involved, yes. But just to shoot it, just anywhere, it's not doing the job, you know.
Yeah.
It needs somebody with the real money that can hire the right guys and have them fight, you know, and pick the best. But there's hope. But with money, like today, money is important.
What's your view overall of the wrestling business today compared to, you were in it at one of its peaks in the late 80s?
I feel that today, it's not as good as it was then, you know, for me. Because there was a lot of wrestling, you know. If a guy got a hold of your arm, you have a hard time getting out of it. If the guy grab you in a headlock, you have a hard time getting out of it because the guys were strong and they meant, and they always went back to the same hole, you know, until you give up or found a way to get away with it, you know. So I think those days for me were better. But if you look at them today, and you take time to look at the older tapes, then you see it's not the same, not the same speed. You know, somebody grab a hold hand, that meant something. Today, well, you know, they're a little bit strong, and there are a lot of pushing and high spot, they call it, I think. And but I prefer the other one, yes.
Were you friends with Pat Patterson?
We got along, yeah.
How did you end up with your own interview segment on WWE TV?
That was Gorilla Monsoon's idea, I heard later on. And I guess Pat probably thought that I would fail because he was the French, he was doing a little brunch thing with the people, and it wasn't getting over, I think. When I got in, anyway, whatever the guys used to tell me in English, I would translate in French. But my way, you know. So if he said that tonight I'm going to destroy Dino Bravo, I would say tonight, mesdames et messieurs, he's aware that he's going to get a beating he's going to remember for the rest of his life. And then the guy would say, are you saying what I'm saying? Yes, sir, straight. You know. And it got over real good. It was Frenchy studio.
And so that was filmed like in Montreal?
It was filmed anywhere we went. You know, wherever we did TV. That included, because after WrestleMania, they used to go to Europe back then. So we went to France, we went to Italy. You know, France, they signed a contract with a TV studio anyway. The Giant was there.
Were you considered a babyface in France, or were you still a heel there?
No, I was still a heel.
Okay. How did you come up with your gimmick?
I had the beard like that, and Monsoon at one time said, Frenchy, I see you as a painter. You know. I don't remember the name, but a real French, well-known painter. And I said, you think? He said, yeah, you got the mustache, so you know, you should get the beret. So I got the beret, I got the costume for painters. And that's how it started.
And did you ever wrestle the original Sheik or wrestle on the same cards as him?
I've wrestled on the same card of the Sheik. I've wrestled Abdullah the Butcher many times. And Crybaby Cannon. Was that name Cannon?
Yeah, I've heard of him. What did you think of the original Sheik?
Who?
What did you think of the original Sheik?
Good juicer, you know. But I didn't see him. I didn't see nothing special about him.
Because he was just a good draw because of that, you think?
He drew because of the blood, I think.
Same with Abdullah.
Yeah, I was in Detroit then.
So you thought those guys didn't have much talent, they were more gimmick wrestlers with the blood?
Yeah, but Abdullah, if you put him on a card, then the people see him, you know, he's a scary son of a gun, so he drew money. He was a big star in Japan.
Oh yes. Did you ever go to Japan?
Yeah, 5, 6 times.
For which company?
I went for Inoki once. And the other one was international, I think. The guy that got his leg cut off.
Can't think of it offhand. But
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Tokyo Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went for them 4 times. At one time they switched the belts, me and my partner. We took the belts from them, and then we went back 2-3 months later for TV shows, 2 days, good money, and we dropped the belt back. So.
And for my last question, I'll just ask you how you want to be remembered as a wrestler and a manager. How do you hope fans will remember you when they look back on your career?
Well, the fans, I know they will remember me as a guy who was trying. I had the guts to do things no other one done. I was not scared.
Because there was fan attacks still in those days.
Yeah, yes, oh yeah.
Were you ever attacked?
Yes.
Yeah.
But outside,
Yeah.
And just for fun, something like that. When we used to do TV in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So every TV there was a guy and a girl following me with a car, And I beat a few people down there, boxing or bar stomping, like stomping Paul Peller would say. And what was I talking about, Halifax?
Dealing with fans coming after you.
Yeah, so they were following me every time. So one morning I said, the hell with it, I bought an axe, And my partner, which was Rick Martel's brother, was driving, and I said, the light there, when it gets red, stop the car, and I'm going to get out. So we're the yellow light, and then the red light, boom, and I take out the axe, and I come out, and the guy went nuts, and he put the flasher, and he left. I never seen him again. It was just a fan that wanted to know where we stay,
And I just realized you brought up Rick Martel. I forgot to ask you about him. What did you think of him? Rick Martel, the wrestler.
Oh, he's very good. I'm part of the training, because me and his brother were partners. And we used to work for Montreal back then. And Michelle asked me, Frenchy, would you help me train my brother? And I said, all right. And we're still friends,
Do you think he was better as a heel or a babyface?
Rick?
Yeah.
Oh, babyface.
Yeah, when he was AWA champion.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you travel with him ever in WWE or WWF at that time?
Yeah, we traveled a little, whenever we're on the same flight or on the same show, because in '87 they used to do 3-4 towns a day,
Right.
Saturday and Sunday, limousine would wait for you. The first 4 matches went to the airport to the next town and started the show, and this show here finished later. And then they got into the limo and joined the 4 match over there. It was very well organized and everything. We get our tickets for the whole month, like Detroit, California, it's unbelievable.
So in those days, would you actually do any of the real managing of a guy like Bravo above like just being the TV manager of him? Like, would you actually ever organize his flights?
Yeah, I used to organize his flights, but especially the limousine to go to the gym,
Okay.
He was a gym freak,
Yeah, I see. Okay. Well, that's good, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I wish, I don't know, I had a hell of a life with wrestling. I enjoyed it, I loved it. Today, I don't hate it, but just I wish I made a little more money, But that's life, I'm at my office. I could be managing the whole show, But I don't want to get involved that much, I'm getting a little older, I say 38, but nobody believes me, so. Would you believe me at 38?
Maybe I would.
All right, well, that's very
There's some sick people everywhere.
Show us your back of your shirt. Le derrière de votre gilet.
La carrière.
Comme si vous faites de la peinture. Super. Merci.
She actually is an artist, so I'm sure she
Tu
appreciates
veux-tu juste avec Devon? Tu veux se mettre à côté? Ben, tu vas le couper. Ouais.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Hawkesbury, Ontario tonight at Hawkesbury Ford for a very special Assault on Cancer event that raised $10,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society. And the main event of the wrestling portion of this event was this man, the Great North Wrestling Canadian Champion, Hannibal the Death Dealer, who is managed tonight by Frenchy Martin, former WWE manager and wrestler who is best known for managing Dino Bravo against the likes of Hulk Hogan against challenger from the United States of America, Alexandria Bay, New York to be precise, Misery the Barbarian, who appears to be a bit of a cross between the Berserker and Bruiser Brody, but he is going to need more than the ability to say huss repeatedly to win this match tonight. He's going to need to demonstrate some tenacity and some toughness if he wants to have a chance to take the belt off of this man, Hannibal the Death Dealer. He has pinned AJ Styles, he has beaten and retired Abdullah the Butcher, he has been in the ring with Kevin Nash, he recently defeated UFC champion Dan the Beast Severn, who's also in the UFC Hall of Fame. But tonight, he does have quite a challenge on his hands against Misery the Barbarian, here before a packed crowd. As we see the two men staring down, the referee for this one is Jamie Histman. Hannibal weighing in at 284 pounds tonight, locking up now with Misery, who weighed in at about 275. He's got a waist lock now on Misery, takes him down. Misery making his way up, trying to escape. He's got an arm bar. Now he reversed the waist lock, but Hannibal reverses it again, does a trip on Misery, takes it over a front face lock. Now we see a gut wrench. Misery is turning into him. That could be a mistake. Hannibal just steps over, and this could be a pin right here. He actually hasn't pinned. Frenchy Martin just counted to 3, but the referee was slow on that one. Did not get down there fast enough. And now Hannibal has some kind of a grappling style face lock on the Barbarian, who appears to be enjoying punishing right now. Misery is not able to get out of it, but Hannibal lets go of the hold and smashes him with one of those clubbing forearms to the back. Huge forearm to the chest now. Massive chop to the chest. It's got to tear a muscle of Misery right there. He is in misery right now. Belly to belly suplex. Of course, Hannibal, a former freestyle wrestling national champion, Greco-Roman wrestling Olympic trial silver medalist, as he throws Misery the Barbarian outside the ring right now. You can see it was raining on this day. There was leaks in this tent. The canvas is wet. The outside of the ring is wet. Big clubbing forearm to the back of Misery and another one to the chest. He's got to be having a hard time breathing at this point. And if he wasn't then, now he is after that chop. Throws Misery off. Back elbow right to the jaw. To the delight of the crowd here, we see the Quebec flag waving tonight. Almost a 3 count right there. Of course, Hannibal said he's going to be representing Quebec in this match due to the fact that he has a lot of close ties in Quebec, and Frenchy Martin is managing him on this side. Of course, he's a Quebec wrestling legend. As you see Hannibal just grabbing those forearms and crossing them right across the artery on the neck of Misery now. He's now forearm picking them up now for a body slam, slams him practically right through the canvas. Hannibal now measuring Misery for something. Comes running with an elbow drop, but Misery moves out of the way. This is the first time we've actually seen Hannibal in trouble so far. Misery throws him off the ropes. Looked like a drop kick attempt, but I believe he may have slipped on that canvas. It's like a hockey rink out there. It's so wet. Tackle attempt, but they don't having to. They don't look like they're feeling much on the part of Hannibal, as he appears to be just getting madder. Flying tackle. Finally, Hannibal moves. Throws Hannibal off the ropes now. Big boot, size 17 right to the jaw of Hannibal. Follows that up with a double axe handle to the neck. Now he's going to the outside of the ring. Frenchy Martin now tries to hit him with the flag, but Misery's got the flag. Hannibal double axe handles him right in the gut. Appears to be going for a superflex. Now Misery slips, so Hannibal just drags him in the ring. He says it's time for the sacrifice. This could be the nightmare here. Hannibal just executed his finishing move and now gives a very arrogant pin. One knee on the chest of Misery the Barbarian. The official word here, your winner and still Great North Wrestling Canadian champion, Hannibal the Death Dealer. He can add Misery the Barbarian onto his list of victims now. That includes Lanny Poffo and many other WWE legends. Misery the Barbarian will be heading back to the United States tonight without that Canadian title. Follow